Shalom, everybody. Rabbi Edelstein here. I don't know if it's going live. It says live. Shalom, everybody. Hello there. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Rabbi Edelstein, Rabbi E for short. And this is a very special moment because this is the first episode of Rabbi E in 3D. Rabbi E in 3D, sponsored by MEOR DC. You might have heard of Rabbi E in 3 before, maybe. If you have, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to make a proud announcement that Rabbi E in 3 is now a podcast. The first episode having been released a couple days ago, you can find it at your favorite podcast catalog, including Apple, Spotify. It's not quite on Google yet, I don't think. But in any case, for now, not to rock the boat or rock the ladder I'm standing on, as I'll explain in a minute, not to rock the boat or rock the ladder or rock your world too much. Rabbi E in 3 now will be mostly used for the podcast. But this is Rabbi E in 3D. See, it sort of preserves a little bit of the flavor, but there's a D, three-dimensional. I think you got that. But you might say, I have a smart audience. You say, no, Rabbi E, there's not really 3D because I don't really see you in 3D. I didn't give out funny glasses to make it literally 3D. So you know what? Then think of it this way. Rabbi E in 3, the D stands for display because my antics are now on display visually, whereas the podcast, it's only audio. Get it? Okay, now that's the introduction. Welcome Rabbi E in 3D, first episode. I'm gonna disappear from sight for a second and then climb a ladder. I'm actually on a ladder in my backyard. And that's how much I want to convey the important message of this episode today. And the Jewish wisdom I hope to share with you. I'm on a ladder in my backyard. It's real. I'm holding on to a rather rickety fence because I'm towards the top rungs of the ladder. Because we're talking about finding God in Home Depot or in your backyard on your backyard ladder. Oh, wow. Okay. Get my bearings, catch my breath. Good to see you all. Okay. This week's Torah portion has a most amazing prophetic vision and dream that is famous. People who don't know much about the book of Genesis or about the patriarchs or about Jacob's life, the patriarch in question, know or have heard that Jacob has a dream. Yaakov has a chalom, a dream. And he dreams of a ladder. And I'm standing on a ladder. I don't want to mess up my technical apparatus here. I'd show you the ladder I'm standing on, but I am standing on a ladder in my backyard. Okay, this is all real. This is live from New York. My backyard, okay? No, Silver Spring. He has a dream. He's running away from his brother Esav, who's trying to kill him. That was in last week's Torah portion, that story. And Yaakov is on his way out of the Holy Land of Canaan, embarking on a multi-year involvement in finding a wife. He actually finds more than one, much to his chagrin. Originally, he didn't only wanted one, but he gets more. That's in this week's Torah portion, Vayeitzei. And he builds a family of 12 sons, the nucleus of the future Jewish people, and a beautiful daughter, and he makes a living, he makes a lot of money, he shepherds his father-in-law Lavan's sheep. So he's leaving holiness behind, it would seem, and going into a very commercial, earthy, mundane facet of his existence, and phase, I should say, of his existence. And he has a dream as he's leaving or getting ready to leave the land of Canaan. He lays down in a very special place, the nature of which he's not totally aware of when he has the dream. And what is the dream? And I stand proud on a ladder now as I declare to you the beautiful dream Yaakov, our patriarch, has. It says, he dreamt and behold, there was a ladder. And the ladder was planted earthward on the ground, and its top reached to the heavens. Angels of God were ascending and descending upon it, and Hashem was above him or above it. And then Hashem gives him a beautiful prophetic promise that he'll guard Yaakov as he goes into exile. He'll bring him back. And he reiterates the covenant that he made with Avram and Yitzchak, the covenant of forming a holy people and having the land of Israel as our heritage. And then Yaakov wakes up, and we'll get to what he said. And he wakes up, and Yaakov says, how awesome this place is. I didn't know that God was here. This is nothing other than Beit Elokim, the abode of God. And then he proceeds to set up a stone that had been near his head when he was sleeping, and he makes it the pillar or the foundation of a future house of God, the future temple. Now, it's a very lofty dream. It's got many beautiful meanings for you and me in my life. But let me just point out something right away, and that's why it's called Finding God in Home Depot, this episode of Rabbi E in 3D. A dream of a connection between this world and the spiritual world above. Very lofty. Angels of God are coming up and down. There's traffic between the physical world and the spiritual world. Very lofty, very beautiful. A ladder? Hold on. He dreams of a ladder, not a golden staircase, not a stairway to heaven in a song people of my age loved when they were in high school or whatever, right? Stairways can be lavish. Stairways can be diamond studded, really. Stairways can be gold banistered. They can be very lavish, and they're permanent, and they're hefty, and they're big. A ladder, you get it at Home Depot or the equivalent back in ancient Mesopotamia. You get it for $25. I mean, they're expensive industrial ladders, I guess, but a ladder is the very epitome of something that's mundane, something that's workaday, something that's not glamorous. It's utilitarian. It's a tool. You use it to fix your roof. It's strange. A dream of a ladder, right? I think you get what I'm saying, but I'm just like Yaakov was in wonderment, not about that maybe, but I'm in wonderment reading that this lofty, abstract, mystical, beautiful dream teaching us that we are connected down here. We're connected with the highest spiritual worlds up to God himself. That's one of the messages of the dream. But the ladder is the medium. Home Depot. So this is very much, I think, of the essence of the special nature of the dream and the message that Yaakov was shown and that we as Jews are shown and hopefully we live by every day of our lives. So first, there's a connection between this world and the next world. What we do down here reverberates to the highest levels of spiritual realms beyond our understanding, beyond our vision, right? Not on display, not on audio. The words, thoughts, and deeds we do down here indeed send angels. That's one of the meanings of the malachim, the angels going up and down. Our good deeds send positive energy, spiritual energy, malachim, up to the heavenly realm, and then God responds and sends down blessings and influences into this world. Oh yes, we are connected. It might not seem that way sometimes. You have to remember this idea of a connection. But the nature of this connection, like I said, it's not a golden stairway. It's not luxurious. It doesn't demand of us any unusual, otherworldly, or extraordinarily expensive outlay. That is, I believe, the essence of Judaism. Judaism, the Torah, gives the Jewish people 613 commandments, and non-Jewish people collectively have 7 commandments, but these commandments are not themselves abstract or esoteric or spiritual. They're very physical. They involve all parts of our being. Some are mental, cognitive, intellectual, but just like a ladder is not flashy or glamorous, the mitzvot are not themselves flashy or glamorous. They're our everyday life, things we do, things we say, things we think about, but yet they go all the way up to the heavenly realm. You know, they say, right, that there's a famous story of the Vilna Gaon, great rabbi in Vilna, who never visited Home Depot, and his understanding of this dream and of this portion of every bit of the Torah was lofty beyond my understanding, right? But they say that the Vilna Gaon, before he died, his students saw him crying on his bed, his deathbed, and they asked him why he was crying, and he said, I'm leaving a world where for a few cents, a few kopecks, or whatever the currency was in Lithuania, for a few kopecks, you can buy strings and put them on a garment and achieve eternal reward. And he was referring to the mitzvah of tzitzit. Not that expensive. I mean, woolen strings or cotton strings on a garment, and it's a holy mitzvah that reminds us of all the other mitzvot. Mitzvot are made of things like that. They're made of the very same material that ladders are made from, some of them, right? The wood that's the walls of the sukkah. I don't know, the ladder is not glamorous, and the mitzvot, though they're beautiful, spiritual, eternal, and enlightening and illuminating, are not gold-studded and gold-plated externally, like a ladder. A ladder's utilitarian. It's a tool. It's a tool we use to fix and make repairs, and I'm sure part of the idea, we all know that a deep idea of existence according to Judaism is to do tikkun olam. Actually, a very mystical idea, but it means to make certain repairs in the world. as the way God allowed us to be partners with him in creation, even though I can't fully understand nor convey the depth of that idea, tikkun olam. It's not a simple idea, but with a ladder, that you do make tikkunim on your house. You make repairs on your house. So you go up and you fix your roof, and with the mitzvot, we fix the way we think, we fix the way we act, we fix the way we talk in this world. We fix our interpersonal relationships. We fix up some of the chaos that every one of us deals with inside. We all have a life, a unique set of circumstances, good traits, bad traits. The good traits we try to bring out in the world and elevate them and refine them, and the bad traits we try to overcome, sublimate, get rid of. That's our job in the world. We need lots of tools, and we need to realize that, just like it's hard work to get on the ladder and fix the roof, it's hard work to repair ourselves and to repair this world. But just like the ladder is not expensive, it's portable, it's accessible. Every one of us can get our ladder. We don't need a golden staircase to get to heaven. We just need the ladder. But we need to have the vision in our mind that life presents us with that opportunity, and that this world connects to a higher world. Obviously, another idea of a ladder speaks to the way we're supposed to look at our growth in this world, step by step, not rushing, not trying to jump too high. We have solid supports on the side to hold us, so it's a secure way of ascending, right? The Jewish path of spiritual growth is not full of ecstatic, one-time hallucinatory experiences. It's step by step, slow ascent, trowel in hand. I don't think I ever used a trowel. Rake in hand, clean the gutters every day, day in and day out, do those repairs on the house. That's the idea of finding God in Home Depot. And it's not a silly thing, because not only did Yaakov see a dream of a ladder, but then he said when he woke up, it's awesome. This is the house of God. And the great rabbis point out other of the patriarchs referred to prophetically the future site of the temple, not with the word house. There were other words they used, field, Abraham, now I'm forgetting. But Yaakov conceived of the future temple and of our lives in this world spiritually as a house. You know what? Because you go to Home Depot, you get a ladder for your actual physical house where you have a family and you raise children. And Yaakov was the patriarch who, even though, of course, Yaakov, Avraham and Yitzchak had families, but Yaakov built the Jewish people, 12 tribes. He showed us and himself that godliness is found in the home, and even by means of the ladder you get at Home Depot, right? He showed us that mitzvot and are done in the home. The home is truly the center of Jewish life. And we'll close with that one point. That is a radical concept, perhaps, really, compared to many other systems of thought and philosophies in the world, where it seems like the highest levels of spirituality can only be reached in isolation, in 24-hour meditation, in celibate contemplation and spiritual exercises, all of which, that's their understanding in those traditions. But Judaism says, no. You have a home. If you build a home, you live in this world. The ladder is placed firmly earthward. It's got earthward, whatever that is. It's got rungs, and step by step, sweating by sweating step, you try to ascend the ladder with the tools to repair yourself, to repair the world. Yaakov Avinu conceived of the greatest site and fount of spirituality in Judaism is really the home. And the temple is called Beit Elokim. The future temple we long for will be, again, the house of God and a house of prayer for all peoples. And he said, I didn't know God was in this place. This is my final thought. I promise Rabbi Ian 3D is about to sign off. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate, or watching. Hey, this is not a podcast. This is 3D. But thank you. He was surprised. He said, I didn't know God was in this place. Now that verse has many meanings, like all of Torah verses do. But one of them, our great sages explain, is that Yaakov, of all the patriarchs, before this phase of his life, was the most isolated. He sat in the tents of study, of monotheistic wisdom of his father and his grandfather, and immediately before this incident we're taught in the oral tradition, he had secluded himself for some very intensive spiritual learning at what was called the Academy of Shem and Aver, an academy of monotheistic wisdom, an early day yeshiva. And he was a great seeker out after truth within the received tradition. But now he woke up from this dream and realized godliness is not only when I'm studying in the study hall. Godliness is in this place, in this physical world, in the life I'm about to go out to, of earning a living with integrity and honesty. And he's the example of that, as we'll see in this week's Torah portion of Vayeitzei, of building a family. But you have to have that vision that life connects to something higher, and we need to just keep walking slowly, steadily up the ladder. But when we're engaged in physical things in this world, we should not just do them. Judaism says we should realize we can elevate those physical activities and actions and make them a place, make everything in our lives and the home primarily a place where the divine presence rests. Thank you for listening. I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to confess my sins. I didn't even start the stopwatch. I was supposed to go 7 minutes. I think it went later than that, but thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful Shabbos, a restful Shabbos, and may we all safely, steadily climb the ladder, each one of us. Oh, and the ladder is only one person at a time, because every one of us has that ascent to make in this world. Every man and woman, side by side with other ladders, hopefully safely in the ground, and giving each other encouragement and thumbs up as we look at each other. But each one of us is really charged with slowly, steadily ascending from the physical ground to the highest level of ethical perfection and excellence. Every one of us, God willing, together. Have a wonderful, safe climbing experience today and every day. But on Shabbos, take a break from ladders and just chill out and read the Torah portion about ladders. And I will sign off. Thank you for watching. Good Shabbos.